What if everything you're chasing is already on its way to you, and you're the only one standing in the way? You only lose what you cling to. Buddha. In a world consumed by hustle, control, and the demand for instant results, we forget a quiet truth. The universe doesn't respond to effort alone. It responds to energy. Right now, you're not being tested by chaos. You're being tested by your own resistance. Ask yourself honestly, how much peace are you sacrificing in exchange for progress that never arrives? This video is here to challenge your understanding of effort, timing, and control. You'll discover how ancient Buddhist wisdom can unlock the life you deserve, not by doing more, but by letting go. You'll learn why life feels heavy and what happens when you finally release the weight. If there's one message to take with you, it's this. You don't have to chase what's already meant for you. That truth alone could change your life. And if you stay until the end, there's a powerful bonus lesson waiting for you. Lesson 1. Let go like the sky releases the storm. What if the only thing standing between you and peace is your need to control? There's a lesson hidden in the silence after a storm, when the clouds clear and the sky returns to stillness, as if nothing happened. The sky doesn't cling to the thunder. It doesn't replay the lightning. It simply lets go, and so must you. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means making space. Because here's the truth most avoid. The tighter you hold on, the more you suffer. We chase outcomes, control timelines, and script every detail of our future. We call it ambition, but often it's fear in disguise. Fear of losing control. Fear of not being enough, unless we prove ourselves. Fear that if we let go, it will all fall apart. But Buddhism teaches the opposite. Attachment is the root of suffering. When you fight reality, you create inner conflict. You burn out, exhausted from pushing uphill, while peace drifts further away. But when you surrender, not out of weakness but wisdom, you align with life's rhythm. You flow with it, not against it. Ask yourself, what am I trying to control that no longer serves me? Is it a job title, a relationship, a version of yourself you've outgrown? Can you let it go? Like the sky lets go of the rain. Because peace isn't something you chase. It's something you create space for. Think about it. The river doesn't force its way to the ocean. It trusts the path. You don't make the river flow. You allow it to carry you. What if your dreams are already on their way, but your anxiety is blocking the door? What if clarity, calm, and everything meant for you arrives the moment you stop forcing outcomes? There was once a man who stood before a locked door, pounding and shouting, demanding it open. Years passed. He wore himself out. One day, exhausted, he collapsed beside it and noticed another door had been open behind him all along. That's the cost of control. It blinds you to what's already unfolding for your highest good. Can you allow things to be without labeling them good or bad? That is the essence of mindful surrender. You don't give up responsibility. You give up resistance. You plant the seed, but you don't yell at the soil to grow. So breathe. Loosen your grip. Let the storm pass without trying to catch the rain. Because the calm you seek, it's already within you, buried under control, fear, and expectations. At the end of the day, the universe doesn't need you to push harder. It needs you to trust deeper. You become what you believe. Heal the resistance within, and your outer world will follow. Lesson 2. Observe your mind like a still lake watches the moon. Picture a still lake beneath a full moon. The surface, untouched by wind, mirrors the moon with perfect clarity. That's what your mind can become. Still, undisturbed, and reflective of truth. But only if you learn to observe your thoughts instead of reacting to them. In the chaos of modern life, the mind becomes restless, stirred by deadlines, fears, comparisons, and constant noise. You may be chasing a promotion, questioning your worth, or scrolling through endless distractions. But what if you paused? What if you stopped wrestling with your thoughts and simply noticed them? Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Buddha. That's not just a quote, it's a way back to yourself. Inner calm doesn't come from fixing every thought. It comes from watching them pass, without being pulled under. When a thought arises, I'm falling behind. What if I fail? They don't see me. Don't fight it. Just observe. Like a still lake cradles the moonlight. Allow your mind to hold the thought gently, then let it go. You'll notice something powerful. The thought passes, and you remain. This is clarity. And clarity is freedom. Because when you observe your thoughts without judgment, you begin to see the patterns. How many of them are not even yours? Echoes from the past, fears you've absorbed, borrowed beliefs. Each time you observe without reacting, you loosen their grip. Ask yourself, am I watching my thoughts or drowning in them? A monk once told his student, you are not the clouds, you are the sky that watches. At first the student didn't understand. He chased happiness, resisted discomfort, until one day he simply sat. No judgment, no effort, just stillness. And in that silence he saw the truth. Thoughts came and went like clouds. Emotions rose and fell like waves, but his awareness remained. He wasn't lost in the mind. He was free from it. You can have that too. A few minutes each day. Sit in silence. Let the thoughts come. Don't grip them. Don't push them away. Just watch, like leaves drifting on a stream, like the sky watching the passing weather. The more you do this, the less control your thoughts will have over you. And in that sacred space, between awareness and reaction, peace is born. Let this be your practice. Not to escape the world, but to meet it with a calm, clear mind. The storm may still rage around you, but within, you become like the still lake, reflecting life as it is, without distortion. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that sees them. And in that awareness, the universe gives, not what you force, but what you are finally ready to receive. Lesson 3. Align your energy like a compass finds north. Ever wonder why some people seem to effortlessly attract peace, clarity, and opportunity, while others remain stuck in cycles of struggle, no matter how hard they try? Here's the truth. The universe doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to who you are, to the energy you carry. Just like a compass always points to true north. When left undisturbed, your life begins to align when your inner world is steady, calm, and clear. But how do you return to that stillness in a world that constantly pulls you in every direction? Most of us live in a state of quiet tension, jumping from task to task, reacting to every notification, holding unspoken stress in our chest. We say we want peace, but we transmit worry. We ask for abundance, but we radiate scarcity. Here's a reminder from Buddhist wisdom. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Imagine your energy like a broadcast, a signal sent out daily. Is it fear or faith? Chaos or calm? Scarcity or gratitude? Because life is a mirror. When your inner world is clouded by resistance, complaint, or resentment, your outer world reflects the same. But when you pause, when you choose calm over chaos, when you realign with gratitude, something shifts. Ask yourself, what energy am I sending into the world right now? There was once a man who kept planting seeds, but nothing grew. Frustrated, he blamed the soil, the weather, the timing, until a wise teacher asked him, have you checked the ground of your own mind? The man was confused. So the teacher explained, you plant with your actions, but you harvest from your vibration. Whatever you water grows. That day, the man began a new ritual, not of striving harder, but of sitting in silence, aligning his heart and cultivating peace. And slowly, his life began to bloom. That's how energy works. It's not magic, it's resonance. When you align your inner world, when you carry stillness within, what you need begins to find you. The right people appear. Opportunities open with ease. Not because the universe suddenly favors you, but because you finally tuned into its frequency. You don't need to force your way through life. You need to feel your way into alignment. It starts small. Gratitude instead of grumbling. The deep breath instead of a sharp reaction. Presence instead of projection. And most of all, choosing inner calm when the world gives you every reason to start to just 5 quiet minutes. Place your hand over your heart and ask, am I vibrating with the energy of what I wish to receive? If not, adjust. Return to your breath. Remember who you are beneath the noise. Because when your energy aligns like a compass finding true north, life begins to organize around your peace. The universe doesn't rush. It aligns, and when you do, what you deserve begins to find its way to you. Not through force, not through fear, but through flow. Lesson 4. Trust the river, even when you can't see the ocean. Have you ever stood at a crossroads, paralyzed by not knowing what comes next? That hollow ache of uncertainty, the whisper in your mind saying, what if it doesn't work out? We've all felt it. But nature offers a quiet answer. A river never panics. It doesn't need to see the ocean to know it's coming. It simply flows, unhurried, unwavering, certain. And so can you. You are the river. You don't need to see the destination to keep moving. You just need to trust the direction. Modern life worships control. Plan every step, predict every outcome, seek constant proof. We're told certainty is strength. But Buddhism whispers a different truth. Faith is stronger than fear. Surrender is not weakness, it's wisdom. Let go of the need to control every result. The universe already knows the way. Not knowing isn't failure. It's freedom. Think of how much energy you spend chasing guarantees, trying to control how others see you, how fast your dreams arrive, how neatly your story unfolds. That constant control creates anxiety, burnout, and the sense that you're always behind. But what if you stopped demanding certainty? What if peace doesn't come from knowing, but from trusting? Ask yourself, what would I do differently if I fully trusted life's timing? Would you move with more courage? Would you rest without guilt? Would you finally release what weighs you down? There was once a woman who planted a bamboo seed. For years nothing, no sprouts, no growth, just silence. People laughed, told her to give up, but she kept watering. In the 5th year, the bamboo shot up 80 feet in just weeks. What happened? All that time, beneath the surface, roots were forming. Stability was being built. Alignment was happening in silence. Her only job was to trust and nurture, not demand proof. Life often works the same way. When nothing seems to be happening, everything is happening. But the mind, addicted to evidence, can't always see it. That's where calm becomes your power. Not passive waiting, but active surrender. You still move. You still show up, but you stop clinging to results. You trust, not because you know the outcome, but because you believe in the rhythm of life itself. Lesson 5. Be empty, like the bamboo to be filled by the wind. Sometimes the reason you feel stuck isn't because life is holding you back. It's because you're holding on too tightly, clinging to outcomes, to old identities, to expectations that were never yours to carry. Like a closed fist trying to catch the wind, the tighter you grip, the more peace slips away. But look at the bamboo. It stands tall by being hollow. It bends in storms, but never breaks. It's not fragile, it's open. And because of that openness, it flows with the wind instead of resisting it. Buddhist wisdom reminds us, real strength isn't measured by how much you carry, but by how much you're willing to release. In the end, only 3 things truly matter: how deeply you love, how gently you live, and how gracefully you let go of the things not meant for you. But most of us do the opposite. We chase more. We grip harder. We convince ourselves we can't rest until everything is perfect. That pressure, that need to hold on, it's what creates the suffering we're trying so hard to escape. So ask yourself, What am I gripping too tightly? Is it the need to prove yourself? The idea that success must look a certain way? The fear that if you let go, everything will fall apart? These aren't just thoughts. They are weight. And carrying them blocks what life is trying to give you. There's a story of a student who visited a wise monk. He spoke endlessly about his pain, his plans, his problems. The monk said nothing but slowly began pouring tea into a cup. He kept pouring until the tea spilled everywhere. The student shouted, "It's overflowing." The monk smiled. "Exactly. You are like this cup, so full of your own thoughts. There's no space for anything new. Empty your cup." This is the path of detachment. Not escaping life, but clearing the noise so you can finally feel it. It means choosing stillness over obsession, creating space instead of filling every silence with worry, because needing nothing opens the door to receiving everything. When you are empty, like the bamboo, the universe can move through you. Letting go isn't weakness, it's trust. Trust that what falls away was never meant to stay, and what is truly yours will arrive, not through force, but through flow. So, start clearing the clutter. Let go of relationships that drain you. Release outcomes that no longer align. Drop the pressure to constantly be doing more. Create space for clarity, for joy, for truth. Practice detachment in the smallest moments. Leave a conversation without needing to be right. Sit in silence without reaching for your phone. Watch a thought drift by without chasing it. In that space, you'll find a deeper peace, the kind that doesn't depend on anything going your way, but rises naturally the moment you stop resisting life. Like bamboo, be empty, not because you lack, but because you trust. The less you cling, the more the universe can fill you, and what it offers is always greater than what you are holding on to. Lesson 6. Let stillness be your thunder. We live in a world terrified of silence. Every second is filled. Notifications, noise, the need to speak, scroll, or react. But what if the answers you seek aren't hiding in more motion? What if they're waiting in the pause? Stillness isn't emptiness. It's power. Silence doesn't mean absence. It means presence, in its purest form. Buddhist wisdom reminds us, it's not always the storm that changes your life. Sometimes it's the moment of calm that follows. Stillness is not passive. It's not weakness. It's a decision to stop running from yourself long enough to finally hear the truth. Let your stillness be your thunder. Because in a world addicted to noise, stillness speaks louder than words. Let stillness be your thunder. In stillness, we often expect absence. But stillness is not emptiness. It is not weakness. It is thunder beneath the surface. It is the silent force that shapes mountains, not with noise, but with patience. Silence isn't a void. It's space. And space is where awakening begins. Burnout doesn't come only from doing too much. It comes from being too disconnected. Disconnected from your breath, from your purpose, from your truth. We rush through life, convinced that speed brings clarity. But speed only stirs the waters. A muddy river doesn't clear when you stir it. It clears when it becomes still. So does the mind. You say you're lost, uncertain, overwhelmed. But ask yourself, what am I avoiding by filling every silence with noise? Often it's the fear of hearing what's real, because in silence, you meet yourself, and that's where transformation begins. There's a Zen story. A warrior asked a master, "What is truth?" The master said nothing. Minutes passed. The silence grew uncomfortable. The warrior repeated the question, louder. Still, the master said nothing. Frustrated, the warrior turned to leave. Then, the master finally spoke. "Now you are ready to listen." Stillness was the answer all along. This isn't about retreating into a cave. It's about small moments. 5 conscious breaths before reacting. A walk without your phone. A morning without notifications. These pauses don't make you less productive, they make you more aligned. Because from stillness, your energy becomes focused, your presence magnetic, your actions intentional. Stillness isn't the absence of sound, it's the presence of awareness. It's when you stop chasing, stop performing, and finally listen. And what you hear may not be a voice, but a knowing, a deep, quiet certainty that no external validation can offer. That's when you begin to trust the flow, when you stop pushing for answers and let the answers arrive. Your power isn't in how loud you are, it's in how centered you can remain when the world is loud. This is what the Buddhists knew, that the calmest presence often carries the most unshakable strength. Because calm isn't passivity, it's mastery. So today, don't just seek silence, honor it. Step into stillness not with impatience, but with curiosity. Let it speak louder than your fears. Let it show you what you've been too busy to see. In that quiet space, wisdom lives. In that stillness, you'll remember your truth. Let stillness be your thunder. Move with calm, speak with presence, act from center. And in that sacred space between noise and awareness, life delivers what you were always meant to receive. Lesson 7. Heal the inner mirror to reflect a brighter world. When you look into a dusty mirror, what do you see? A distorted reflection. Shadows, where there should be light. This is what happens when you carry unhealed wounds. Your world begins to reflect your pain instead of your potential. The universe is not separate from you. It responds to the vibration of your inner world. Buddhist wisdom says, you cannot walk the path until you become the path. This means peace isn't something to chase, it's something to become. Yet so many try to control everything outside, relationships, careers, timing, without ever tending to what's inside. We say we want abundance, but deep down we believe we're not worthy of it. We long for peace, but we feed our minds with chaos. We crave love, but withhold it from ourselves. Here's the truth. You cannot receive what you don't believe you deserve. That's why healing your inner mirror isn't a luxury. It's the starting point of transformation. There was once a woman who spent years trying to fix everything around her. Her job, her partner, her finances. Nothing seemed to work. One day, exhausted, she sat in silence and asked, why isn't anything changing? A quiet voice inside whispered, because you still think you're broken. That moment cracked her open. She realized it wasn't the world that needed changing. It was her relationship with herself. Healing began not with effort, but with acceptance. Ask yourself honestly, what do I believe I deserve? And is that belief helping me or holding me back? If your inner voice speaks in lack, guilt, or fear, no outer achievement will feel like enough. You'll always be chasing, never arriving. But when you begin to affirm, I am already enough, I trust life's flow, everything begins to shift. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. When you heal your inner mirror, you begin to reflect light instead of wound. And the universe, always listening, reflects that light back to you in return. Healing isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about catching the inner critic and replacing it with compassion. Soften the voice within. Watch your thoughts with tenderness. Speak to yourself as you would a dear friend. That's how you begin to glow from the inside. That's how you become magnetic, not by effort, but by truth. Heal the inner mirror to reflect a brighter world. Healing begins not with fixing, but with listening. Not with pushing, but with presence. It's journaling. It's meditating. It's sitting quietly with yourself, not to correct, but to connect. To meet the parts of you you've ignored, with compassion instead of critique. It's waking up and choosing self-kindness. Before the world has a chance to shake your spirit, don't wait for the world to validate your worth. Decide it now. Because when your inner mirror is clear, you begin to see what was always there. Love, peace, opportunity. no longer blocked by doubt or fear. That's when synchronicities appear. That's when people respond to you differently. That's when you stop chasing and start receiving. And the beauty, you don't have to be fully healed to begin. You just have to begin. Begin treating yourself as someone worthy of all you desire. Begin showing up with calm trust and a deep knowing that you are supported. Begin seeing the world, not just as it is, but as a mirror of who you're becoming. Because you become what you believe. Heal the inner mirror, and the outer world will reflect your light back to you. Not someday. Now. Lesson 8. Think lightly, like a feather rests on water. Sometimes the heaviest things we carry are the ones we made up. Worries that haven't happened. Scenarios we invented. Timelines we can't control. We get lost in the storm of what ifs and what's next, and forget to ask the only question that really matters: what is real right now? Buddhist wisdom reminds us, a light mind is a free mind. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. And just as a feather rests softly on the surface of water, so too should your thoughts. Let them rest, not sink. Lightness is not carelessness. It's clarity. You weren't meant to carry everything at once. But the mind will trick you into believing that if you just analyze enough, worry enough, plan enough, you'll be safe. But has that ever truly worked? The more you try to think your way into peace, the more tangled you become. Because peace isn't found in mental gymnastics. It's found in surrender. There's a story of a man who spent every night worrying about a bridge he might have to cross in the future. What if it's broken? What if I can't make it across? Night after night, he couldn't sleep. But when the day came, he arrived to find the bridge was strong, whole. All those sleepless nights had prepared him for a problem that never even existed. This is the burden of imagined obstacles. Ask yourself, am I suffering today over something that hasn't happened yet? If the answer is yes, it's time to let your thoughts float instead of sink. Your mind isn't your enemy, but it does need guidance. The feather doesn't resist the water, and yet it stays afloat. That's the wisdom of trust. That's the softness of letting go. In your daily life, this means pause before you act, breathe before you speak. Let calm, not chaos, be your compass. When your thoughts are light, your energy becomes magnetic. People feel it. The universe responds to it. You begin to attract, not from desperation, but from grace. And this lightness, it's not passive. It's a discipline. It's choosing to feed presence, not fear. To nourish the moment you're in. Whether you're stuck in traffic, waiting for a call, or navigating uncertainty, can you float instead of? Lightness doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough to stay sane, to stay centered, to stay open. You're not here to force outcomes. You're here to align, to flow, to trust. So today, let this be your practice. Let go of one thought. Release one. Trust one moment. Because when your mind stops wrestling with the future, your heart begins to receive what it's always deserved. Peace. Float like the feather. Trust like the river. Let calm carry you to everything you seek. Lesson 9. Wait for the bloom like a lotus in mud. In the muddiest waters, where the light struggles to reach, where nothing seems to move, the lotus begins. It doesn't curse the darkness. It doesn't rush to bloom. It simply rises, quietly, patiently, 1 inch at a time. Your life is no different. Right now you may feel stuck, waiting for clarity, for healing, for that breath of stillness after years of chaos. But what if this moment, this muddy season, is not a punishment, but preparation? Buddhism reminds us, growth happens beneath the surface. What looks like delay is often sacred development. You can't always see the roots stretching, the quiet strengthening, the unseen unfolding, but it's happening, always. No matter how hard the past, you can begin again. The lotus teaches this. Peace does not require perfect conditions. It grows from patience, from presence, from the willingness to bloom in your own time. But here's the struggle. We're taught to rush. Society worships speed, achievement, immediacy. So we panic when things take time. We question our path. We doubt our worth. But urgency is not alignment. It's anxiety, dressed as ambition. Every time you dig up the seed to check if it's growing, you interrupt the very process meant to bless you. Ask yourself, can I be still and let the answer come in its own time? Can I let the soil do its quiet work without forcing the bloom? This is not passivity. This is trust. The kind of trust that carries a quiet strength. The kind that waits, not idly, but wisely. When you stop demanding instant results, you create space for real transformation. The kind that lasts. The kind that changes you from within. Peace isn't found in having all the answers. It's found in your ability to breathe, even when the answers aren't clear. It's found in your ability to stay present with the sacred, not yet. So many burnt-out souls aren't tired from doing too much. They're tired from resisting what is, from trying to accelerate seasons that were always meant to unfold slowly, from comparing their muddy middle to someone else's full bloom. But the lotus doesn't compare. It simply rises when it's time. So should you. Every day you wait with grace. You build invisible strength. Every moment you choose patience over panic. You align deeper with the universe. Trust this. When the soil is ready, the seed knows when to rise. And when you rise, because you will, it won't be with the frantic energy of someone proving their worth. It will be with the calm knowing of someone who has become their worth. Let this be your reminder. Delays are not denials. They are invitations to rest, to realign, to return to yourself. The universe isn't punishing you. It's preparing you. Preparing the timing, the clarity, the peace. Preparing you. So breathe. Stay grounded in your muddy soil. And wait, not with frustration, but with faith. Because peace, like the lotus, blooms for those who trust the mud. Lesson 10. Let action flow from inner peace, not panic. Imagine a candle burning steadily in a still room. Its flame doesn't waver, not because it resists the wind, but because the air around it is calm. That steady flame is how your actions should arise, not from panic, not from stress, not from the desperate thrum of do more, be more, fix everything now, but from a deep well of inner peace. In a world obsessed with speed, we confuse busyness with progress, movement with meaning. But Buddhism teaches, true power comes when doing flows naturally from being. Think of the last time you acted out of panic. The rushed message, the reactive choice, the stress-fueled yes you didn't mean. Did those actions lead you closer to peace or further from yourself? Inspired action is born from stillness. The moment you settle into presence, quiet your mind, return to your center, your choices become sharp, clear, and powerful. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. When you root yourself in the now, your actions aren't reactionary, they're intentional. This is vital for anyone burned out, lost in transition, questioning their path. Because the answer isn't always more effort. Sometimes it's less frenzy, more focus, more alignment. Ask yourself, am I acting from calm wisdom or chaotic reaction? That question can reshape your entire life. When you feel agitation, urgency, overwhelm rising, pause, take a breath, return to the stillness within you. Peace isn't the reward at the end of your to-do list. It's the foundation beneath every meaningful action. When you move from inner peace, your outer world begins to shift with more ease than you imagined possible. This isn't inaction. It's wise action. It's knowing when to move and when to wait. like a river flowing effortlessly within its course. You don't need to force outcomes, just align with the flow. In stillness, inspiration will come. You'll see what's true. You'll act not from fear, but from clarity. Let your actions be like that steady candle, lit from within, unshaken by the winds of urgency. Move from center, speak with calm, act from peace, and trust that from this, everything meaningful flows. Let this idea sink in. When your mind is calm, your actions burn longer and brighter, like the candle in the still room, unflickering, unwavering, not disturbed by wind or distraction, but steady in its glow. This steadiness becomes your power. It allows you to weather storms, to move with grace instead of force, to persist without burnout. You become a force of nature, not a frantic storm, but a steady light. So the next time you feel the pressure to act, pause. Ask yourself, am I centered? Then let your next move arise from that calm space. Make peace your baseline, not a reward for surviving the chaos, but the place you move from. Your true power is not in hurried doing, but in mindful being. When you master this, the universe responds, not because you forced it, but because you allowed, you aligned, you trusted. And that's when life begins to flow back to you, naturally, abundantly, fully. Lesson 11. Let life happen like clouds drift across the sky. There is a quiet magic in watching clouds drift across the sky. They don't cling. They don't resist the wind. They simply move, changing, softening, dissolving. Your emotions, your thoughts, your experiences, they're much the same. They arrive, they linger, and eventually they pass. But we resist. We clutch tightly to what hurts, try to fix what cannot be forced, and worry about what we cannot control. This resistance, it's the root of suffering. It's where anxiety grows. It's where burnout begins. But Buddhism reminds us, whatever has the nature to arise will also pass away. This is the wisdom of non-resistance, the art of letting go, the power of allowing life to happen, like clouds drifting across an open sky. Imagine a burned-out soul, overwhelmed by deadlines, identity shifts, and invisible expectations. Now imagine instead of battling the storm, they simply learned to drift, not giving up, but accepting, softening, flowing. Peace is not found by forcing control. It's found in embracing impermanence. Ask yourself, what am I clinging to as if it's permanent? A failing plan, a fading relationship, an unspoken fear. Holding on too tightly only deepens the pain. Instead, whisper to yourself, this too shall pass. Let that mantra be your anchor. When doubt rises, or anxiety floods it, let it remind you, nothing is fixed. Everything moves. This is especially true for those navigating career crossroads, emotional healing, or societal pressure to have it all figured out. Let the clouds remind you, you don't need to. Practice witnessing your thoughts, like weather in the sky, not good or bad, not true or false, just passing. Meditation helps. So does breathing deeply in the middle of your day. So does simply pausing and watching the sky. This creates space, and in that space, clarity leaves, peace leave. The power of non-resistance is not in doing nothing, but in choosing wise flow over frantic control. You are not here to wrestle the clouds. You are here to watch, to breathe, to trust. So the next time a thought, a fear, or a wave of emotion arrives, let it drift. Don't hold, don't fight, don't force. Let it pass, as all things do. And in the clearing sky, you will find yourself steady, open, and ready to receive the peace that was always waiting. Bonus lesson, live as if you already trust the universe. There comes a moment, a quiet turning point, when you realize waiting for certainty is waiting forever. Like a bird perched on a branch, You can only hesitate for so long before the weight of doubt becomes heavier than the leap. But faith is what allows the bird to fly without checking the wind. This is what it means to trust the universe, not just in words, not just in moments of meditation, but in your life, in your choices, in your presence. Live as if you already trust that you are being guided, that the next step will appear when it's time, that your desires are known, that support is already on the way. This is radical trust, and it changes everything. Burned out professionals, those recovering from grief, those shedding old identities. You've been taught to brace, to hustle, to doubt. But what if the healing begins when you choose to leap? When you say, I may not know how, but I know I am held. When you live this way, you stop chasing life and let life meet you. Synchronicities appear. Unexpected doors open, and inner peace becomes your compass, not the prize at the end. It doesn't mean you won't face challenges. It means you won't collapse under them, because your roots are in trust and your wings are ready. So today, ask yourself, if I already believed the universe had my back, how would I live? Then do that. Take the step. Open the door. Rest if you need to. But live, not with fear, but with faith. You don't need every answer, just the willingness to move forward, as if you are already supported, because you are. Live as if everything is already working out in your favor. This faith is not blind. It's a quiet knowing, rooted deep in your being. A calm trust that says, I don't have to control every outcome. Instead of gripping tightly, you open your hands. Instead of forcing, you flow. Buddhism teaches, your work is to discover your world and then with all your heart, give yourself to it. So give yourself to the process, not with tension, but with presence, not with panic, but with peace. Imagine making decisions from abundance, not from lack, from trust in perfect timing, not from fear of falling behind. How differently would you approach your career struggles, your healing journey, your restless mind? Would you push less? Would you breathe more? Ask yourself, what would I do today if I believed everything was working out for me? Then act from that place. Step into your day radiating calm assurance, not chaotic fear. The universe responds to vibration, not desperation, like a compass needle finding true north. Your inner self aligns when undisturbed. Trusting the process isn't passivity, it's power. It means acting from peace, knowing you are supported, even when you don't see the whole path. You might hesitate. You might feel the urge to control. But remember, like the river that flows without seeing the ocean, faith grows when you release the need to know. You don't have to carry everything. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to trust. Let your actions flow from inner peace, not panic. A candle burns longer when sheltered from the wind. Your soul shines brighter when steady amid chaos. Living as if you already trust the universe rewires your relationship with uncertainty. It softens anxiety. It creates space for miracles. Like bamboo that bends but doesn't break, detachment allows abundance to flow. Peace takes root when you stop clinging. The universe begins to deliver, not because you, but because you make room, because you're ready. So take the leap. Live today as if trust is your compass, because it is. This trust transforms overwhelm into calm, chaos into clarity, fear into flow. When you move with life, not against it, you open the door to everything that has been waiting to meet you. Quick summary of the principle. Let go, like the sky releases the storm. True power lies in surrender, not control. Release the need to manipulate outcomes. Peace follows those who stop grasping. Observe your mind like a still lake. Inner calm begins with awareness, not reaction. Watch thoughts arise and pass. You are the witness, not the storm. Observation is liberation. Align your energy like a compass finds north. The universe responds to your frequency, not your force. Stay centered. Manifestation begins with emotional alignment. Trust the river, even when you can't see the ocean. You don't need to know the destination. Take the next step with faith. Surrender the outcome. Let the process carry you. Be empty, like the bamboo to be filled by the wind. Detachment creates space. Let go of clutter, mental, emotional, spiritual. Detachment isn't indifference, it's inner freedom. Let stillness be your thunder. Stillness is the birthplace of wisdom and inspired action. Don't chase life, attract it with presence. From stillness, clarity arises. Heal the inner mirror to reflect a brighter world. Your life mirrors your inner state. Change begins within. Self-love and awareness shape your reality. Think lightly, like a feather rests on water. Overthinking blocks. Peace. Loosen your grip. Let your thoughts float. Choose lightness over control. Wait for the bloom like a lotus in the mud. Growth takes time. Delays are not denials. Patience is faith in slow motion. The bloom always comes. Let action flow from inner peace, not panic. Don't act from chaos. Act from clarity. When your intentions are born from calm, your actions carry more weight. Stop reacting. Start responding from a grounded place. Let life happen like clouds drifting across this. There's no need to resist what is temporary. Emotions and events pass like weather. Let them. Non-resistance is peace. Calm is choosing not to struggle with life. Live as if you already trust the universe. Act with the quiet faith that everything is aligning in your favor. Your belief shapes your reality. When you live from trust, you unlock a magnetic field of possibility around you. Take control of your life, not by forcing it, but by surrendering to its deeper rhythm. We spend too much time chasing, doubting, and resisting what already wants to find us. True control is calm. True power is presence. The moment you stop needing to have it all figured out, you begin to experience the magic of now. What you seek is often hiding behind your mental noise. As long as your mind is crowded with fear and overthinking, the universe cannot deliver. It's like knocking on a door while shouting so loudly you can't hear it. Oh, the quieter your mind, the louder the universe speaks. Let go of the pressure. Let peace be your new direction. Zen wisdom for modern life. Zen teaches, when you stop chasing, you arrive. Life doesn't need your perfection, it needs your presence. You don't have to fix everything. You only need to see clearly, feel calmly, act wise. The rest will take care of itself. Trust that life is wiser than your plans and kinder than your fears. Each of these 12 principles is more than just a thought. It's a practice, a new way of breathing, thinking, trusting, responding. The universe works on frequency. Your calm isn't weakness, it's alignment. Your surrender isn't giving up, it's stepping into higher guidance. When you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Loud. If these words spoken to your soul, like, share, and comment. Let others find peace through your ripple. Subscribe to Insightful Journey for more Buddhist insights on living a peaceful, powerful life.